Hello? Hey, Kathy, good. How are you?
Caitlin, I just want to personally congratulate you on being named captain for the 20. All the best to the whole team tomorrow in the Tuesday in the Commissioner Cup final.
Yeah, we better get that.
Oh my gosh, you guys, the people who don't like her are going totally crazy right now. And honestly, it's really fun to see. Caitlinclark just got picked to be the team captain of the WNBA All-Star game, and everyone freaking out on the internet is super entertaining to watch. While those people were busy writing really long posts about how they don't like her, the real fans were out there voting for her. It's so funny how that worked out. What do you think? Did Caitlin deserve to get picked as captain? Or are you one of those people who are super upset about it on Twitter right now?
Caitlin, we saw obviously the results for the All-Star game. I know you're more about winning, but still that's got to be a little bit meaningful for you considering you're still so new to the league.
Yeah, no, obviously it's cool, and it's cool that fans get to be a part of it and have a little impact on the game. And then I think also it's going to be really special to be able to do it here in this city. And I think there's already been so much time and effort put in by so many people that aren't going to get credit for what they did to bring All-Star here. So, trying to make it the best All-Star the WNBA has ever had. I know we'll certainly do that, but also...
Oh, wow. I don't even know where to start with this crazy mess. Caitlinclark, that basketball player who some people on the internet say doesn't deserve good things, just got picked to be the team captain for the WNBA All-Star game. And how did people react? It was so funny you wouldn't believe it.
I figured to have a couple of familiar faces in the All-Star roster from some of your teammates.
Yeah.
Have you already gone through that process? Do you expect some gift baskets from some of your teammates that joined you there in the roster?
I certainly, obviously I'm going to try to get my teammates on my team. Why wouldn't I? That's obviously the goal. And, once they come out with whoever has made it and whoever hasn't, I guess I get to pick and choose. I don't really know how it works. I guess I just found out 2 hours ago, but obviously my first goal will certainly be able to have my teammates on my team. So absolutely.
Let's talk about what really happened here, because it seems like some people don't get it. Clark got the most All-Star votes in WNBA history ever. We're talking about almost 1.3 million votes. To help you understand how big that is, she got more votes than every single All-Star from 2023 put together. But sure, tell me again how she doesn't make a big difference. She doesn't just make a big difference, she is the big difference.
So today, lads, we're going to be talking a little bit about the reaction to Caitlinclark getting her All-Star.
And now, before all the people who always complain start getting really mad in the comments, let me talk about the big problem everyone's thinking about. Yes, there were other players who deserved it too. Skylar Diggins-Smith, Sabrina Ionescu, Aja Wilson. These are amazing players who could have been good choices for captain too. But here's the thing that the people who don't like this just don't get. All-Star voting is just about who's most popular. It's always been that way. It will always be that way. You want to know what's really funny? These same people who are complaining about Clark being captain are the ones who watch her games more than the people who actually like Clark do.
Yeah, the fans are... And I don't even mean the fans, I mean the Hatelins. The Hatelins. We know what they are. There's no point calling them fans. But actually, you know what? No. I think there is a good point in calling them fans, because that's what they are. They are fans. They are Caitlin's second biggest fan group, because they are watching every single game. Like, if the Hatelins are watching every single game, they are going out of their way to watch. Obviously, they're watching every single game. They're tweeting about Caitlin on a daily basis.
These people are watching every single Fever game just to complain about it, posting about her every day and looking at everything she does like it's their only job. Guess what? You guys have become her second biggest group of fans. This crazy obsession is real, and it's honestly kind of sad. Let me tell you about some of the totally wild things I've been hearing. She makes too many turnovers. Wait, what? Do you want to know who makes the most turnovers in the NBA every year? Usually it's a really good point guard who's an all-star. When you touch the ball as much as Clark does and help your team score as much as she does, you're going to make some turnovers. That's just how basketball works. But I guess knowing basic basketball stuff is too hard for these smart people. Her team doesn't win enough games. Oh, this one's really funny. The Indiana Fever has gotten way better this season compared to before. And when Clark's playing on the court, they look like a totally different team. But let's compare this to some other players these same people love to talk about. Angelreese's Chicago Sky has 4 wins. Just 4. And these people are acting like that's way more amazing than what Clark has done.
Happy. They're not happy. Rigged public vote. Who cares? I pity the players she selects on her team. There's a lot of semi-viral tweets, and I mean, I wish these people that get these viral tweets actually, you know, voted.
The funniest thing about all this fake anger is how easy it is to see through. When the Wings, Sky, and Fever all played games at the same time, guess which game all these fans were watching? You got it right. They were all watching Caitlinclark play. They say they're fans of Paige Bueckers, Angelreese, and other players, but when it really matters, they're glued to their TVs watching Clark play. Let's talk about Paige Bueckers, honestly. Bueckers is an amazing player. There's no doubt about that. She's Paige freaking Bueckers, and anyone who says she's not good is crazy. But saying she should be team captain instead of Clark? Come on. Clark is scoring more points, getting more assists, more rebounds, and her team wins more games. Their shooting percentages are almost the same, but somehow Clark doesn't deserve it. Here's what really bugs me about comparing Bueckers to Clark, and I like Paige. Don't get me wrong, but let's look at the numbers. Clark is doing better in almost everything while doing more work for her team. Paige has been great for sure, but she's not doing what Clark does every single night. All the stats that matter, the fancy numbers, and just watching them play, everything shows Clark is better. But the haters don't care about that. The way the reporters voted was really funny to watch. Some voters picked injured players who missed half the season to be starters, but somehow Clark being captain is a problem. The same Clark who's been carrying her team and playing like an all-star every game. I saw voting papers where people voted for players who turned the ball over 6 times a game and missed half their games. But Clark gets criticized for turning the ball over? That's totally unfair. What really gets me is people saying it's rigged. Rigged how exactly? Because fans voted? Because Clark is popular? Because she sells tickets and people watch her games? That's not rigging. That's called being good at your job and making fans happy. The WNBA is a business, and Clark is the best thing that's happened to that business in years. When all this anger started is really funny. These are the same people who were crying about Clark not getting enough respect when she was a rookie last year. Now she's in her second year, clearly better, leading her team to win, and suddenly she's getting too much attention? That doesn't make any sense. And can we talk about how unfair some of these opinions are? People say she only got votes because of her college fans. Okay, so what? Those college fans became WNBA fans because of her. Isn't that exactly what the league wanted? More fans? New people watching? But apparently, new fans don't count if they're Clark fans. The gatekeeping is real, and it's embarrassing. The argument that she can't be captain because she turns the ball over too much is really dumb. Clark was turning the ball over more per game at this time last year. And guess what? She was still an all-star starter then too. This year, she's scoring more points, getting more assists, more rebounds, fewer turnovers, and playing better overall. But somehow this year she doesn't deserve it. The mental gymnastics are Olympic level. Let's also talk about the obvious thing about team success. The Fever have been way better with Clark on the court. And how much they improved from last season to this season has been amazing. But these critics want to focus on single games or short stretches instead of the big picture. When Clark didn't play against the Sparks and they lost, suddenly that's not mentioned in their analysis. The social media meltdown has been absolutely beautiful to watch. Tweet after tweet of people calling the vote rigged or unfair. The same people who apparently couldn't be bothered to actually vote themselves. If you spent half as much energy voting as you did complaining, maybe your favorite player would be captain. But that would require actually supporting players instead of just hating Clark. What's really rich is seeing people claim they can name 10 better players right now. Okay, name them. And while you're at it, explain why those players didn't get the votes if they're so obviously better. The truth is that Clark brings something to the table that these other players don't. Star power, entertainment value, and the ability to make casual fans care about women's basketball. The captain role itself is going to be fun to watch. Clark gets to pick her team and people are already guessing who she'll choose. Will she go young and pick players like Bueckers? Will she show loyalty to teammates like Aaliyah Boston? The draft process could really help make people excited about the All-Star game again, which has been boring in recent years. One thing that's been really entertaining is watching people try to say Clark's impact on the league doesn't matter. The TV ratings don't lie. Games with Clark consistently get more viewers. Attendance at Fever games, both home and away, has gone way up. Merchandise sales are through the roof. But apparently none of that matters when it comes to all-star selections. Give me a break. The comparison game these haters love to play is also interesting. They'll pick stats from specific games or stretches to make their point, while conveniently ignoring the big picture. Clark's having an excellent second season, showing growth in multiple areas and leading her team to success. But that doesn't fit their story, so they focus on turnover numbers or shooting percentage from a 3-game cold streak. What's also hilarious is how some of these same critics will praise international players or veterans for their veteran smarts and leadership. But when Clark shows those same qualities, suddenly it's attitude problems or being too demanding. The double standard is so obvious, it's almost insulting to our intelligence. Let me tell you what really happened with this All-Star selection. The fans spoke loud and clear. They voted for entertainment. They voted for excitement. They voted for the player who makes them care about women's basketball. The reporters who voted for Clark? They understood the assignment. They knew that Clark brings eyeballs to the screen and people to seats. The reality is that Clark's selection as captain isn't just about individual stats or team records. It's about what she represents for women's basketball. She's brought more attention to the league than ever before, turned casual fans into dedicated viewers, and made every player she plays with more famous. That kind of impact deserves recognition. And let's be real about the competition for captain. A'ja Wilson is dealing with injuries. Breanna Stewart has had an up-and-down season. And while players like Sabrina Ionescu and Kelsey Plum have had great years, none of them have Clark's combination of individual performance, team success, and cultural impact. The fans recognize that even if the critics refuse to. The business side of this can't be ignored either. The All-Star game with Clark as captain is going to get way more interest than it would have otherwise. More viewers, more ticket sales, more merchandise, more everything. The WNBA isn't stupid. They know what drives their business, and Clark is at the center of it all. What's really funny is watching these critics act like they're protecting the game. Protecting it from what? Popularity? Entertainment? Fan engagement? The WNBA has struggled for years to get mainstream attention, and now that they have it because of Clark, suddenly that's a bad thing? The logic doesn't exist. The international angle has been interesting too. Some people are acting like Clark's popularity somehow makes international players or veterans less important. That's not how this works. Clark's success lifts all boats. When she draws viewers to women's basketball, those viewers see all the incredible talent in the league. Her popularity helps everyone. The irony of all this hate is that it's actually helping Clark in the league. Every angry tweet, every outraged article, every heated debate is creating more attention for women's basketball. The haters think they're hurting Clark, but they're actually her best marketing team. They're creating storylines, driving engagement, and keeping her name trending. For all the talk about Clark not deserving the captain spot, let me ask this. Who would create more interest in the All-Star game? Who would get more viewers? Who would create more storylines and excitement? The answer is obvious, even if some people don't want to admit it. The draft element of being captain is going to be must-see television. Clark gets to pick her team, and every selection is going to be analyzed and debated. Will she pick Buchers and show there's no hard feelings? Will she go with Aaliyah Boston first out of loyalty? The possibilities are endless, and each choice will create more conversation. Let's talk about what this means for the future, too. Clark being captain sends a message about where the league is heading. It's embracing its stars. It's recognizing what drives fan interest. And it's not afraid to let popularity play a role in these selections. That's healthy for any professional sports league. The bottom line is this. Caitlin Clark got elected captain because she earned it through her play, her popularity, and her impact on the game. The haters can cry about it all they want, but at the end of the day, they're just proving how relevant and important she is to women's basketball. Their obsession with her is the greatest compliment they could give, even if they're too bitter to realize it. So to all the people having meltdowns right now, I have one simple message. If you don't like it, vote next time. Oh wait, you were too busy writing essays about why Clark is terrible to actually participate in the process. How perfectly fitting. The fans have spoken, Captain Clark is here, and the salt is flowing freely. What a beautiful day for basketball. The meltdown continues, and honestly, I'm here for every second of it. Captain Clark has a nice ring to it, don't you think? If you're Team Caitlin and think she absolutely deserved this captain spot, smash that like button and subscribe. What player do you think she should pick first? Drop your predictions below.